Four Midwest Guys presents
Welcome back, everyone. We are at House Lannister. Oh my goodness, House Zanardelli. Where the motto?
Wow, you've already made us.
Yeah, I know. Where the motto is what?
Where there are no prisoners, only guests.
So welcome back. We have just finished watching. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. I'm the Archmistress of the Google, Stephanie, and my Lord and husband of the house is here with me tonight.
Pleasant day to you all. So, first off, I want to start with some apologies to all of our half dozens of listeners out there who were wondering where we were Sunday night or Monday morning, because I apologize. My job is very freelance, and I took a commercial gig on Sunday, and the commercial went a little long. I was about an hour and a half drive away, and we wrapped exactly at 9:30, so I got home pretty close to 11, and I come home to my poor bobbing and weaving wife. Hi, honey. Hi.
I was tired. I had to work early in the morning, so, we did not get to watch the show. I apologize.
But not only that, knowing that my Facebook friends, I love you all, but you're a den of spoilers, and I could not get into... I actually had to avoid being on Facebook for an entire day. I bid everyone a farewell, and I said, I have not gotten on the internet to look up anything about last night's episode. I have not done anything. I have not chatted with anybody about last night's episode, but yeah, this was kind of... My wife is shaking. She wants me to wrap this up. So I'm just... Apologies that it hasn't gotten out sooner to all of you, but we are here now. And we are going to continue with the show.
Yes. And tonight's show, we're throwing in a little bit extra. Instead of a top 3, we're doing a top 5.
Because for an hour and a half season finale,
it deserves a top 5.
Dear God Almighty, does it ever?
Okay.
So
go ahead. You start.
Would you like me to start off?
Yes,
all right,
please.
All right. So my number 5 scene is the reuniting of the heroes of Blackwater Bay.
Oh, that was going to be mine, but I decided against it. Yeah.
And
that was fantastic.
It's such a wonderful moment because you're seeing Bronn and Tyrion and Podrick all talking who haven't seen each other in seasons, I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. And they're finally reuniting as they're walking up to the dragon pit. And they're going to have the meeting with the Lannisters and the Targaryens and the Starks, and it's building up to this big moment. But at the same time, the show doesn't take away from the fact that all these people that we've loved and we've seen them part ways have finally reunited, and they never lost their roots. It was just such a great moment to watch every one of them come back.
Watching, was it Brienne and Clegane? That was fantastic. I had to laugh. Yeah. I had to laugh.
She's like, I thought I killed you.
You almost did.
You almost did.
Yeah. that was fantastic. Yeah.
The reuniting of everybody that hasn't seen each other and Tyrion talking to Bronn, and Bronn who is on the Lannister side, and Tyrion.
And they missed each other. Yeah, it was great.
They missed. Oh God, it was so wonderful to see. It's like when you get together with old friends you haven't seen in years. It's just that. God, it's just such a great moment.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that. I really did. It was on my top 6, but not my top 5.
So what would we kick off your list with?
My number 5 was finally seeing the straw that broke the camel's back and watching Jaime leave Cersei.
You're about to lead into my number 4.
And just he gave his word. He's a knight. They cannot go back on their word.
His sword is called Oathkeeper.
I mean, for God's he can't. She gave her word, and she flat out lied to everybody that was involved. And Jaime just he's like, you can't be serious, because if they march through the north, they're gonna come south and they're gonna kill all of us.
If the dead win, we lose. If the living
North,
win and find out we betrayed them, we lose.
I mean, it was watching him snap, and he's like, I'm done. I can't fucking take it anymore. And he's like, and she just said, no one leaves me. No one leaves.
It's like, I don't allow anyone to leave.
Yeah. And it was interesting because she was about to have zombie
mountain.
Zombie bubbles.
Zombie heavy bubbles, yes.
Kill her brother.
I mean,
and he was
freaking
just
sound effect, the giant metal sword unsheathing after she looks at him, you're like, I literally thought they were going to kill Jaime Lannister.
I swear to God, I thought they were going to kill Jaime. I'm like, you can't do that.
But again, and this is something I have to point out, a lot of fans are saying, they haven't had that big of a body count. They haven't killed as many people as they used to. It's like, well, so what? Mm-hmm. There's still that tension there because
they're building up to it.
Living on
they're
that
building up to it.
Yeah, that's the thing is like we are living on this.
They took this season and they basically just built all of our attention and all of our need. They fed it.
Right.
They fed what we needed.
We are so used to heartbreak and death and everyone we love getting betrayed.
We needed this season.
We did kind of need this season because, well, you know what? Even if you don't have a season of everyone dying that you love and really enjoy, that is saying two things to me. One, they're building up to quite a bit next season. Oh my God.
Well, it's the last season.
Yeah, and two, they're aware of that trope, people. They know that you're expecting this, and they are still kind of playing against it. I mean, this show knows how to play on its audience.
We're getting away from our list,
right?
So.
But as I'm saying, your number 5 was my number 4, okay. So I'm kind of feeding off that as well. What's your number?
All right,
go ahead. No, just to kind of think. I mean, because yes, my number 4, and I literally had it as Jaime's defiance, and I think to me, what was so telling about that, and God love Brienne, because Brienne's the guy that brings Jaime back down to humanity.
And Brienne was interesting.
Yeah.
Because Brienne, who is also a knight, who also is about loyalty and honor and everything. This is a woman who flat out looked at him and said, fuck loyalty.
Fuck loyalty. No, I say fuck houses and fuck loyalty. And even Cersei turned around to look at that.
And Jaime was surprised to hear that come out of her mouth.
This is about the living and the dead.
Yes.
And it's like, what should I say? I mean, that's a moment when even Jaime, who, when talking to Brienne, who's someone who is always able to appeal to his better nature, which is why I've never been able to hate Jaime Lannister, because Brienne has always brought out the best in Jaime, and she literally did it for this scene. And I want to
I wasn't really a fan of his at the very beginning.
No, because he threw Bronn out a window, so...
Bran.
Bronn, whatever. Yeah. But, okay, I want to add... I think, to me, the part I want to bring up, if I'm going to talk about my number 4, is the punctuation mark at the end. Just watching Jaime leave and putting that glove over his gold hand. I mean, it's... in many ways, it's a symbolic gesture. He is covering up his wealth. He's covering up his identity. He's literally leaving every bit of it behind. And the second that glove came on, a single snowflake fell on him as he's outside of the King's Landing walls. And it's just winter has finally hit King's Landing. And it's just him walking away. I mean, him riding his horse off. He's leaving. He's leaving everything. And
he has nothing left.
You know what? God bless you, Jaime Lannister. So that moment right there just sealed it to me. It's like, this is why I've always loved you as a character, and you didn't let me down. Good on you.
But here's the thing. He's leaving everything that he's loved and that's important to him. Mm-hmm. And
not only that, his unborn child.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. They were talking about that, and he said, we have nothing else to lose. We've lost our 3 children. Mm-hmm. And
our father, our 3 children.
He basically is not, I guess, would it come to the fact that this unborn child is his? Because he's not looking at it as his. But Cersei is like, nope, this is our kid.
Mm-hmm. Well, considering everything that we've had come out of Cersei lately, I wouldn't be surprised if that was also something conjured up.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Going on with your number 4 scene, your 4th favorite or number 4 on your list?
Yes, thank you. So my number 4 was, dear God, it took us 7 seasons for this man to finally come alive. Finally! He's been a coward and a wimp and a pissant, and to see
someone
and to
who
see
suffered PTSD. Let's
fine, and
give
to
Theon
see
some defense
Theon
here.
come alive. Finally,
It's the moment we've all waited for him
I
to
was
come
cheering.
back. And again, it's when talking with another character.
Don't get me wrong, he got the shit beat out of him, but he did not stay down.
No.
The guy kept telling him, stay down or I'll kill you. And he kept getting up.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
That is such a
finally, it
heroic
took
moment for
7
anyone.
seasons.
Well, and to top it off too, like I was saying, like Brienne talked with Jaime
Mm-hmm.
and brought out the best in him. Theon finally apologized directly and spoke to Jon, and Jon, before that scene, told him, "You don't have to choose. You are both a Greyjoy and a Stark,
And I forgive
and
you
for what I can."
for what I can. Yeah.
Right, and I think he's like, my sister's out there. Is like, then why are you talking to me? And Jon just turns away, leaving Theon to make his choice. and he's
I
going-
need to go save Yara.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, then why are you talking to me? But yeah, just to see him finally come alive and say, yes, I'm a Greyjoy, I'm a Stark, I can kick everyone's ass, and God help him, finally being cockless saved his life.
Right, because the guy thought his death blow was going to be kneeing him in the groin.
Like
and he
3
knees him like
times.
3 times and just looks at him.
And laughs.
And he laughs. And I just love that moment because it was just a moment. It's like, oh, this used to be my weakness and now I'm using it against you. It's just, that was such a great little moment.
I don't have a weakness there anymore, buddy.
Right. My weakness is now my strength.
Yes.
And I love moments like
Yes.
that.
So what's your number 3?
My number 3 scene, which... And I did peek at your list, and I'm sorry.
Oh, you punk.
It's your number 1. I'm sorry. And it's such a beautiful piece of editing, and that's the lineage reveal. It's what all of you book lovers have been saying since season 1 to all of us.
R plus
R
L
plus
equals
L
J.
equals J has finally been revealed. And in that moment, when Bran finally flashes back to look at the past.
But Bran got it wrong. And Sam had to do the math for him and tell him, go back and look at it.
That's
and
right.
You see
Yeah,
that.
right. And again, all of our favorite moments come from another character, inspiring something to be greater than them. And then when Bran sees that moment, it's like Robert's rebellion was based on a lie.
Yeah.
She wasn't kidnapped and raped. She loved
Rhaegar.
She loved Rhaegar.
And they married.
And they married. Yeah. And I think the moment, and I told you I'd tell you this because as much as I love you, Archmaestress, this is something I've been reading for a while. When Lyanna names her son, our son's name is Azor Targaryen, and I got chills when I heard the name Azor because, and I've read all the history of it. When someone mentioned it, Azor Ahai. Azor Ahai is a mythical figure in the books that came to be to eliminate the army of the dead in the past life. Azor is reborn in Jon's sand, not snow, sand, because Dornish word for bastard is sand, or something along that nature that they were saying.
Yeah.
His name is Azor, and he has come to kill the army of the dead. And the look, you can't see this, the look on my wife's face right now. Look up the name Azor Ahai and look at the little summary. You will be so excited for next year, honey.
I'm like excited now, but even before that, but okay.
So, I mean, since it's your number one, I'm not going to go too much into it, but I
Wow.
promised you I would tell you what the name Azor meant. and
No, that's freaking
that's-
amazing, dude. I had no idea. That's cool.
So,
All right.
number 3.
So my number 3 wasn't exactly your number 3. My number 3 was watching Littlefinger finally get his just desserts and have his throat sliced.
By none other than
Arya! Yeah!
a Stark murdered Littlefinger.
Oh my god.
Fucking poetic.
And what was beautiful was you saw Sansa tell the guard, have my sister come to the Great Hall. She walks in, and you think this is going to be
It
on
looks like
her.
Arya's trial. I mean, she's right dead center of all the soldiers.
And the thing is Brandon can't do anything because he's no longer Brandon Stark. He's
sitting by
the
Sansa's
three-eyed
side.
raven.
Yeah, he's sitting by
He's
Sansa's
in-
side, though.
And murder, treason.
It's like you stand here accused
Is
of
murder and treason. What do you say, Littlefinger?
What do you say, Lord Baelish?
Baelish.
And then, oh,
My freaking mouth dropped.
and every one of us was like, oh, justice is
I
finally
was like,
here.
what? Yes! Thank you! Oh my god! But it was amazing. I mean, this guy begged and pleaded and dropped to his knees and begged some more.
Before that.
And he denies everything.
Can I say my favorite part with his denial?
Ah,
Can I
yeah.
say, oh god, when he said his denial, I was like, none of you were there. None of you can say that. You held a knife to to Ned Stark's throat.
And said you should
You said
never
you should have never have
trusted
trusted me.
me.
And the look on his face, he's like, hey, that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I did.
Bran can see it. Because he
Bran
can see the past.
saw it and called him out on his shit.
It was,
All the Starks were there to put Baelish's shit on display.
I mean, he got accused of murdering their
Lysana.
aunt,
Their aunt,
Lisa.
Lysana? Forgive me, there's so many names.
Yeah, I'm so
But
done. I'm
yeah,
tired. I'm
it's
not
like
going to
you
look it
murdered
up.
her by throwing her through the moon roof. Do
Yeah.
you deny it?
And he goes up to the captain of the Vale and he goes,
like,
I
demand to be
am
taken-
Lord of the Vale. I demand that you keep me in safety and take me home. And the captain of the Vale went, I don't think so.
You murdered our queen. Fuck off.
Yeah. I mean, it was beautiful. This man got finally what he deserved. He's dead. He is no longer whispering in anybody's ears.
I think the only villain.
Oh.
That's the moment where you realize the only living villain, not amongst the army
Died.
that's coming through, has died, and the only ones left now is Cersei. Cersei.
Yep.
And Euron are pretty much the only.
And the zombie mountain.
Well, I said living.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
you're right.
okay,
That's
zombie.
true.
Oh my god. I need to have a runner-up moment.
Why?
Just because when you mentioned Zombie Mountain, I just
Fine.
reminded something.
I'll give you some.
The Hound looking at his brother right in the eye.
Oh, yeah.
And he said,
Yeah, he called him out.
he called him out, I was like, you look fucking ugly. It's like,
You look worse than I do.
but that moment at the end when he says, but you know what's coming for you.
Yeah, you're already dead, but you know what's coming for you.
Yeah. That's the moment I think you saw a little bit or more realization in our
Clicking.
Zombie
Yeah.
Mountain's eyes.
Uh-huh.
And he went, yeah, something's gonna happen to me.
Well.
So
yeah.
I had to throw my runner up
All
because that little moment there.
Fine, can I throw my runner up?
Okay,
Please, please, please.
fine. I said okay.
You're going to like it.
Go ahead.
Tyrion confronts Cersei.
Oh my god, yes. That's not even a moment. That's a whole fucking scene.
Yes.
Jesus.
It was. That
And-
could have been. That was.
Oh
just-
god, that's not even on my list.
I almost started crying. I really did because it was that good of a scene, and it was that good that he's like, I'm very sorry about the children, and she's like, I don't care. He goes, I know you don't care, but I love them, and you know I did.
Yeah. It's just
And
I got
and
no
to
words for
watch
that. It's
and
just a
to watch
beautiful-
him tell her, then have your guard kill me now.
Which, and I gotta say, Cersei's
And that
not good
tension-
at giving. Yeah, Cersei's not good at giving the Mountain the word to kill her brothers.
No, but she didn't even like shake her head or anything. She just
No.
looked away because she decided not to.
Apparently, she had more of an inclination to kill Jaime than she
Right,
did
her
Tyrion in this
right.
episode.
But it was, and to watch him walk over and go pour himself a drink, and he was just like, oh,
But not only that, he
But
poured a
that-
second glass
for
and
her.
gave it to her.
and normally she would drink it, but because
would?
she's pregnant.
I don't think it's so much because she's pregnant. I don't think she wanted to take a cup from him.
Yeah, well, probably that too. But that's my runner-up. So
Such a good scene.
Okay,
That,
all right.
I wish I
Number
remembered
two.
that stronger. My number 2 scene, it's the reveal of the walker, or of the dead soldier in the dragon pit,
okay,
because that is tending to my
technical problem.
little
Hang on.
technical thing, getting
There
it
you
back
go.
here. Okay, we're good. That moment when the walker, like, the hound carries the box up and
Mm-hmm.
drops it down, and the latch on one
I
side.
was getting a little worried
the
because
latch on the yeah, they built the texture because he opens it, throws off the lid, backs away.
no. The reason I was
nothing.
getting afraid was because when they were on the boat earlier,
And
he
taps
knocks on it.
and
The
it, like,
thing went
just
nuts. Yeah.
Yep.
Now
And
he's
then-
making all this noise and
Freaking
nothing's happening.
carrying it up and drops. I was like, do they not like the sun?
I'm like,
or
is it
something?
alive?
He's like, yeah. And then he fucking kicks it over, and the thing just, like, thank God it's not 3D, came right out in
At
front of
Cersei.
everyone, came right for Cersei. I think this may have been the only time we've ever seen Cersei afraid.
Yeah.
For once in her life, legit afraid at everyone around them.
Mm-hmm.
You literally saw the fear in all their eyes. Like, this was something none of them were prepared for. And it's
Well,
the
because
moment.
these were stories. These weren't
They were
real.
just myths.
They were
stories.
myths.
And I think that to me is kind of an encapsulation of a lot of one of the strongest themes of Game of Thrones, and that is, yeah, he's been there for a while. Our house sigil, our sleeping cat, is asleep on my wife's uniforms right now. She's pointing that out to me as I'm saying this.
My
So-
fur baby.
Yes.
Anyway.
Our house sigil, a sleeping cat, is living up to his
He's so
living
cute.
up to his
He's
nature.
so cute.
But anyway, so as I was saying, this is to me one of the themes of this show, because when we first started out in Game of Thrones, it literally just felt really medieval for 3 seasons.
Yes.
Like, it was literally just about
Yes.
family versus family about the throne, which, we've heard tales of dragons. And then at the end of season
Horses
1,
and castles and
right, and all this stuff. And at the end of season 1, we see the eggs hatch and the tiny baby dragons.
Dragon.
So we realize there's some truth to the fantasy in there, and the fantasy is coming into this world, and it's been more and more creeping in. I mean, well, more and more is like how freaking big the dinosaurs are getting and how big this army of the undead is getting. All of this
Dinosaurs.
stuff. Dragons, I'm sorry. As Tyrion was enjoying his wine, I was also enjoying my bourbon before the episode as well.
Yay, Cretaceous period meets. Yeah.
Or
okay.
the time of the Seven Kingdoms, whenever that may be.
Anyway, moving.
But no, just all the stuff that for the first few seasons we never really dealt primarily with the fantasy elements. Now the fantasy elements that we were always told were myth are coming right to the foreground, and it's been this kind of ignorance to the myths and to the history of like the fantasy elements that have caused all this suffering. So I think just to have that moment where this Deadite, I'm going to call him the Deadite from, Army of Darkness, just like tumbles over and is like gnashing at everyone. The hound slices him in half, slices off the hand, Jon Snow goes, "You're going to kill." It's like, the only things that can hurt him are fire. And he sets the hand on fire. The hand drops. It's like, with dragon glass. And he stabs the thing and finally
It dies,
kills it.
yeah.
So it's just watching that moment of fantasy finally creeping into this world of the Seven Kingdoms was, I think, perfectly captured in that moment. So that to me, I mean, and it's the moment that's setting off all these events and all these turns of character. Like it's the turn of Jaime Lannister to the good side. It's the turn of Cersei going against her word. I mean, it's literally the moment that's going to be setting off everything in the next season.
Yeah.
So, all right. I've gone on long enough.
All right.
Just
So that was your number 2.
That's my number 2.
So my number 2 was something else, but I'm changing it. In the middle of our show, I'm going to change it. Because nobody can see this, so...
Because you can't see my list, and it's my inclination, and fuck you if you don't like it.
Yeah. So my number 2 I'm going to go with is the lineage reveal, which was your number 3. So, sorry. The reason
But I think wisely done.
Thank you. The reason I liked that as part of my top 5 was
Jon
because...
Snow's ass.
Yes, that was pretty. But what I enjoyed out of the whole thing was the fact that here's Bran talking. Sam comes in, and Bran and him are having this discussion. And Bran says, yeah, John's coming back with Dany. Oh, you saw that in a vision? And
Holds up the little
Bran
note.
holds up the note from the Raven, which I thought was hilarious. I mean, it was so funny. It was just this nice comedic light moment. But the whole lineage reveal, because Bran has been holding on to this all this season, and he's been wanting to talk to Jon, and Jon left before Bran got there, and it's been anyway.
Oh, and going off of Sam coming back, I just want to point out the happiness. Like, there's actual joy in Bran's voice when he says, "Sam." When he sees him in the doorway, I thought that was a beautiful little moment there too. It's like,
well, here's the thing:
some bit of humanity from him.
Sam really wasn't the one that found the information. Remember?
No, it was his
Gilly.
wife. It was Gilly, who's like, oh, and apparently there's this, where the Archmaester was told, like, oh, what do I care? I was like,
What's an annulment?
thank you, finally, to listening to your wife.
Yeah. Thank you.
Love you, sweetie.
Anyway.
Threw that out there for you.
Yes, people should do that. Lots and lots and lots. Anyway, so yes, that was my number 2. I enjoyed that whole reveal of how it happened and how it occurred, and finding out Robert's rebellion was a complete and utter,
It was a
falsehood.
It was a falsehood, yeah.
And people, how many people have died since that falsehood?
Well,
how many?
First off, Dany's father.
Yeah. But and her brothers.
Yeah.
And all the men that went to war.
Right.
I mean,
basically everyone we saw before episode 1.
Everyone has been against this family because of X, Y, or Z, and it's all been wrong.
That's been the rallying cries. Like, you kidnapped and raped this woman, and that's what united the Starks with the Baratheons.
Yes.
Was,
yes,
that's when they saw their moment. And the Lannisters all...
But the thing is Ned knew the thing was fake. He knew it was false. But because Robert was his friend, he fought with him.
Right.
Which is crap. But anyway.
Which is kind of funny because we've seen another, well, sort of Stark, raised by a Stark, use his word and not being able to lie.
Yeah.
Or bend the knee to somebody else because he's already bent the knee.
Yeah. To another queen. Yeah.
Another queen.
But that was fantastic. That lineage reveal, and then seeing Jon and Dany come together so intimately.
Basically having sex.
Yes, okay, fine.
You can say having sex. 2 adults do that.
Fine.
It's what adults do, honey.
Because they love each other. Because they have fallen in love.
And so Jon finally gets to hook up with his hot aunt.
Which is creepy.
Oh, come on. We've seen a brother and sister fuck
This
how
is
many
true,
times on this
but-
show?
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
And we saw how old was that kid in the veil that was nursing on his mom.
Oh, please stop.
I
Anyway.
think this is tame compared to what else has been going on in the
But,
Seven
okay,
Kingdoms.
fine. Whatever. Fine.
Oh.
How's that? Hey, by the way, I'm your nephew. How does that conversation come out?
I think now Tormund, when he says his line, is like, oh, is it the queen with the dragons or the queen who fucks her brother? Now it's going to be, is it the queen who fucks her brother or the queen who fucks her nephew?
Really? Yeah. But to have Tyrion know what's going on behind that door and standing in the shadows and watching, what's going on there?
Yeah, what's going on with Tyrion with that reveal? And I think we'll get to that a little later because we do want to talk about what stands for. All right,
what's your number
final
one?
Season.
Number one.
My number one moment. It's probably going to be a quiet moment, actually. It's a moment that I think I've been wanting to see for a long time. I think I've been wanting to see it all season. And I never realized how much I wanted to see it. It's probably not going to be on a lot of other people's lists, but it's the final moment that Arya and Sansa have at the wall at Winterfell.
Yeah.
It's so beautifully written. And it's literally, I mean, because since Arya and Sansa have reunited at Winterfell, they never quite had a moment together where they seemed like they actually were enjoying each other's company and were happy to be there. Even in the crypt,
they liked each other.
Right, even in the crypt, there was still a bit of a distance between them. But I think this uniting together, where Sansa realized Arya's not there to be the Lady of Winterfell.
No.
And she even says it. That's the first thing. She's like, if I wasn't around, you'd be the Lady of Winterfell. She's like, no, you will always be a better lady. I was never meant to be a lady. And then just the exchange between the two of them when Sansa says, I think you would have survived everything you went through. It's like, you're the stronger of us too. She's like, I don't think I would have. Or just the the mutual respect and appreciation and adoration of them. That was my moment when she tells Arya, she's like, you were always stronger. You were always the strongest, and you would have survived it. And Arya just says, I think that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. And she's like, you're still weird. You're still annoying. But it's just, it's just...
that's a big sister, though.
Yeah, it is
talking
a big sister.
to a little sister.
Exactly.
That's always how big sisters see little sisters.
Right. And then...
or even little brothers, yeah.
Yeah, and the punctuation at the end, when she says, what is it Father said about winter? The lone wolf at winter dies, but the pack stays alive.
Yeah, the pack who stays together always endures
Yeah.
and stays alive.
And it just, oh God, I never knew how much I wanted that moment to
because
see
the Stark
Arya,
pack is coming together.
just to see Arya and Sansa, just to see the pack, just these two sisters who have endured and survived so much. Just finally,
I mean, they watched their father get beheaded.
They did watch their father get beheaded.
None
together.
of the other Stark children did. They both watched it.
Arya has been basically dodging death ever since then. Sansa has been through unspeakable relationships together, or on her own.
She's been dodging left and right
she's
too.
been dodging left and right in her own respect, and the two of them, they know
finally come out in the end.
Yeah, it's not as epic. It's not this grand effect moment, but for me, it's something that getting to the nature of the characters and just
and the story and the families and
and I've looked at my list. It's like I loved little character moments, which is funny because like if you know me, you would think I would love the spectacle. But
my number one.
Speaking of the spectacle,
yeah. So my number one was my number two, and now it's my number one because it was the Ice Dragon taking out the fucking East Watch. I mean...
We're not taking out the East Watch.
Wow!
Fucking incinerating the wall.
Wow!
I mean, the Night King has left his horse.
The Night King is riding the dragon.
Zombie dragon.
This is insane!
And just torching this wall and just like incinerating it and just watching it go.
R.I.P. Hey, R.I.P. Maybe Tormund.
No.
And
he's got a lovely
and our band
tall,
of
blonde
brotherhood.
woman.
And our band of brotherhood.
Our brotherhood
peoples.
brotherhood without a veil.
Without banners.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
We don't know what's left.
Please come back next season. But
if not, you've got a lot of Wyndham rewards waiting for you. But you also have a really tall, lovely blonde woman waiting for you back at Winterfell.
Yeah. No, she's not there yet.
She's not there. She might be, but
so
all right. So those are our number one moments.
Yes, our top five.
Because good Lord, this episode could not contain just 3 moments alone. We had to have runners up.
Yeah, we did. Sorry.
It's just for a talkie show. I mean, it's got your dragons, it's got your battles, but for what the show does well, it's talking moments with its characters and just watching them relate is what is the meat and potatoes of the show.
So what are we wanting to do now?
Oh, yes. So from here, where do we think the show goes in season 7?
8.
Or 8. Yes, 8. Yes, I'm sorry. Season 5 and 6 were the Emmy winners.
We're tired.
7. Yeah, well, because technically it's still part of season 7. They're doing the Sopranos thing. Where
You can shut up now.
This
Just
is
say
7A, and now next year is going to be 7B. So the next, in the final season.
Thank you.
Where do things go in the final season? And yeah, let's just spitball. Let's freeform.
Well, apparently Azor is the heir to the Iron Throne.
Yeah, I mean, even Bran says
Azor Targaryen.
Azor Targaryen
is the heir to the Iron Throne.
Belongs in the Iron Throne. What is that gonna do to Daenerys, who is already kind of has potential?
That betrayal that you were talking about to me?
Yes, because I was also telling her before the episode started, there were
Daenerys has a prophecy.
Daenerys' prophecy, because as Cersei had the prophecy that she would live to see her 3 children die before she died, as the what I say the guy's name was, the Fanhar will put the hands choke the life out of her.
Yeah,
the brother will choke the life out of her. Daenerys also had a prophecy. I can't remember if it was in season 1. I think it was in season 1, where she said she would be betrayed in 3 different ways, and unless you want to check your phone, it was for money, 1 for power, and 1 for love. We've had the 2 betrayals already. She still has not yet been betrayed for love. Good Lord,
that's coming.
She's fallen back in love. After Khal Drogo was her first love, now she has another in Azor.
Or Jon Snow.
Azor or Jon, which now Jon probably has more names than Daenerys.
We'll see.
Because we have Jon Sand, Jon Snow, Azor Targaryen.
Azor Ahai.
Azor Ahai.
We'll see.
Guy who came back from the dead.
We'll see. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. So yeah, I mean, I wonder what that's going to do to Daenerys, because for all these seasons, Daenerys has been building herself up to be the one rebellion she is the chosen leader. Yeah, she's going to break the wheel.
Well, she's built herself up to be and told everybody, I am the heir to the throne. Right, it's my throne.
And she has all these people following her.
Wrong.
Yeah, no.
Sorry,
no.
Danny, I love you, but no.
You're just a really hot aunt.
Anyway,
but yeah, I mean, what's that going to do to her? Because in this season, we've seen that she has kind of Targaryen Mad King tendencies in her. That what's that going to do? But another prophecy that we've seen as well, which you pointed out, now that King's Landing is finally getting some snow.
Yeah.
We also saw in one of her visions in the tower at the end of season 2 that she sat on the Iron Throne while it was covered in snow.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people have also hypothesized.
And there was a giant hole in the roof.
Giant freaking hole in the roof, yeah. And another thing too is we're gonna see an army we've never seen before, with the army of Essos.
Oh yeah,
the Golden Army. Yeah, Euron. Yeah, that was the other thing we didn't point out, was that we thought Euron ran away at the sight of seeing,
I'm out.
and is
See
like,
ya. Peace.
Yeah, I haven't seen this, so yeah, I'm gonna kind of.
This is a little too crazy for me.
Which we all kind of laughed at, but apparently that was Cersei telling him to go to Essos and bring back the Golden Army because they have the vault again. Oh boy, so
yeah, but vaults ain't gonna kill dragons.
No, or dragons or deadites.
Or deadites. Yeah, no. Sorry. I don't know what she's thinking there.
She's not. She's really not.
Okay.
But,
I was curious. I'm like, what the hell is that going to do?
And
even Jamie looked at her like,
right, yeah.
What the hell is that going to help us with?
Yeah, he's even calling her out on, like, this is the dumbest fucking moves you're doing. You're paying attention.
It's like, we need to help fight this army, and you're being an idiot and stupid and whatever. Anyway.
Which, I think it's going to be interesting, because we're going to have potentially, and she's even said, it's like, the Golden Army, I believe they have elephants and everything. I mean, this could literally become like the Battle of Return of the King.
Yeah.
Where you have the army of the dead swarming over the elephants,
Right? Seen it. Anyway.
Tolkien. George R.R. Tolkien, J.R.R. Martin.
Yeah, right. Anyway, but anyhow. So I'm curious to see where Tyrion's going to go in this whole story too.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand the hiding in the shadows and
that was the creepiest he's ever looked on the show.
He looked very sullen.
Yeah, he's in the shadows.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Is it because
did he feel love for her and
I don't think so. No. I don't think so. I think he knows that she's best for business in a way. But I don't think he loved her in the sense that, you know, he loved Shay.
Yeah. Or the way Jorah loves...
or the way Jorah loves Daenerys. Yeah, but yeah, that kind of got stepped on too. But
yeah.
Moving on. But yeah, that was interesting to see where that's going to go.
Because, yeah, essentially next season, we're only going to be limited to a few episodes, but they're essentially going to be... It's going to be like a long... season of Sherlock where we have like these hour-and-a-half episodes. Yeah. We're gonna get like little mini movies for this length of time.
So anyway, but that's pretty much it for now.
Well, anything that you think's gonna happen in the next season? Outside of Tyrion, or
well, obviously there's gonna be a great war.
I think there's gonna be several great wars in this last season.
It'll be honestly, I'm not good with prediction about what's going to happen next season. I think I'm more excited to be surprised by it. You know?
So you don't want to be like the book readers that, you know, we read the book and then we watch our friends during the Red Wedding. You smug bastards. That's all I'll say.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit here and say, well, I think this and this and this, X, Y, and Z is going to happen. You know what? I have no idea. I don't rate the show. The book doesn't even write the show anymore. They've kind of veered away from the book, from what I've heard.
Right, which, and again,
so
God
thank
bless
God for that.
For, you know, like all the novelists, all the people that read the books, like, I know where it's going to go. Now you don't.
Welcome to our world.
Right.
Anyway.
You're in with the rest of us for the show.
I think I'm okay with just, you know, doing our top 5 and saying a couple of things and all right, and saying good night and God bless and see you guys next year.
Is this your way of signing off for right now? Or?
For me, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm in the same boat that you are. And I've done this with every movie I've watched too. I don't like to read all these fan theories like Brian and Aaron. I know you guys love to obsess over every bit of detail about Star Wars before it comes out. I don't like to do that. That's not my thing. You know, I mean, but that's like what you're saying. I don't like to... Anyone that's heard my other episodes knows that I don't go into a movie reading anything about it. I like you. I like to be surprised too. And this isn't a knock at anyone. This isn't a knock at you guys or our other flagship shows and everything. Love y'all. It's just I like to go in and have that surprise too. So I'm there as well. But yeah. I like the surprise, and I wonder where the lineage and everything's gonna go in the last season. I wonder where, because we're a show built on betrayals and, you know, loved ones, like beloved characters dying. You didn't get a lot this season, but frankly, fine. We're building up to a lot in the last season, and I think we're gonna get a buttload there. So, I see from your obvious reactions you didn't like anything I was saying there. But, no, I mean, I think that's kind of the boat I'm in as well. I mean, that's kind of where I think it left us with the season, and we got another year. So, from all of us here at House Zanardelli, thank you for basically listening to us. Like, if you came in halfway through the show, or you started us, like if you're one of our first episode listeners and kept going through, you can tell our format has changed and we've evolved, and thank you all for sticking with us, and hopefully you've enjoyed the ride as well. We love feedback, anything you have.
Good night, John.
This is what she loves to do. This is what she loves to do.
You're drawing it out. Good night.
No. thank you all. And from all of us here at House Zanardelli, we will see you all next season.